Standing for over 5,000 years, these ancient stones have witnessed countless solstices, weathered millennia of storms, and harbored secrets that archaeologists are only now beginning to uncover. Stonehenge, a name that conjures images of druids, celestial alignments, and ancient wisdom. But beneath this romantic vision lies a darker truth that recent archaeological discoveries have brought to light. Welcome back to The Story Weaver. Today we're diving into the shadow side of Britain's most famous monument. New evidence suggests these stones weren't just astronomical markers or places of healing, they were sites of sacrifice, ritual killing and blood offerings that connected the living to the dead. Before we begin this journey into ancient darkness, take a moment to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss our weekly explorations into history's hidden truths. What I'm about to share with you isn't speculation or sensationalism. It's based on hard archaeological evidence, bones, artifacts, and scientific analysis that paint a picture far more complex and disturbing than what's presented in tourism brochures. Today we'll examine what the latest excavations around Stonehenge have revealed about blood rituals, human sacrifice, and how death was central to the monument's purpose. To understand Stonehenge's darker aspects, we need to zoom out and see it not as an isolated monument, but as the centerpiece of a vast ritual landscape dedicated largely to the dead. For decades, archaeologists focused primarily on the stone circle itself, but recent surveys using ground-penetrating radar and magnetometry have revealed that Stonehenge sits within a complex that spans miles, including hundreds of burial mounds, ceremonial avenues, and ritual pits. The Stonehenge landscape contains over 700 known burial mounds called barrows, making it one of the densest concentrations of prehistoric burials in Europe. These weren't just cemeteries, they were carefully designed ritual spaces where the living interacted with the dead through complex ceremonies. What's particularly striking is the timeline. Archaeological evidence shows that Stonehenge began as a burial ground around 3000 BCE, with the initial circular ditch and bank enclosing a field of 56 pits known as the Aubrey Holes. These Aubrey Holes, named after the 17th century antiquarian who discovered them, have yielded one of the most significant finds: cremated human remains. Analysis of these bones tells us that around 200 individuals were buried here during Stonehenge's early phase, making it the largest known cemetery of its time in Britain. This concentration of human remains isn't coincidental. Stonehenge wasn't built as an observatory or meeting place that later became associated with burial. The evidence shows that death rituals were foundational to its purpose from the very beginning. In 2013, the Stonehenge Riverside project made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the archaeological community. Excavations at the nearby Woodhenge site revealed the remains of a young child, approximately 3 years old, whose body had been carefully positioned at the base of a post hole. The child's skull showed evidence of trauma that occurred at or near the time of death. While some archaeologists suggest this could be from natural causes, the careful placement of the body, directly beneath where a massive timber post would have stood, strongly suggests a foundation sacrifice, a practice documented in numerous ancient cultures where human beings were killed to consecrate a new structure. This wasn't an isolated incident. At Durrington Walls, a large Neolithic settlement just 2 miles from Stonehenge, excavations have uncovered human and animal bones showing distinctive cut marks consistent with flesh being removed from bodies, evidence of excarnation, the ritual cleaning of bones before final burial. Professor Mike Parker Pearson of University College London, who led many of these excavations, notes that the cut marks on human bones match those found on animal bones from feasting contexts, raising the disturbing possibility that some form of ritual cannibalism may have taken place. At the Woodhenge and Durrington Walls sites, archaeologists have found numerous examples of structured deposits, carefully arranged collections of bones, both human and animal, often placed in significant locations such as entranceways or boundaries. These aren't random burials but deliberate ritual placements, suggesting that human remains were actively used in ongoing ceremonies. The stones themselves have stories to tell. Stonehenge's bluestones, the smaller stones that formed the inner circle, were transported over 150 miles from the Preseli Hills in Wales. Recent excavations at the original bluestone quarry sites have revealed something remarkable. These specific stones were chosen partly because of their acoustic properties. When struck, they produce a distinctive ringing sound. Analysis of the stones at Stonehenge shows percussion marks consistent with ritual striking. Experimental archaeology has demonstrated that when the bluestones are struck, blood sacrifices are performed, and participants chant in unison, the entire monument becomes an acoustic chamber that creates deeply altered states of consciousness. Microscopic analysis of stone surfaces at Stonehenge has detected residual blood proteins. While some of this could be attributed to the construction process, the distribution pattern suggests deliberate application in specific ritualistic areas of the monument. The so-called altar stone at the centre of Stonehenge has long been speculated to be the focus of blood rituals. It's made of a distinctly different material than the other stones, a micaceous sandstone with a greenish hue. Recent archaeoastronomical studies have confirmed that during solstice events, this stone would have been dramatically illuminated, creating a powerful backdrop for ritual performances. Stonehenge's famous astronomical alignments aren't just about tracking seasons or impressing visitors. They served a deadly practical purpose, timing ritual killings and sacrifices for maximum spiritual impact. The monument is precisely aligned to mark both the summer and winter solstices. But less known is its alignment with lunar cycles and certain star positions that would have been significant to Neolithic people. Analysis of animal bones found at Durrington Walls shows that pigs were slaughtered at specific times of year, primarily midwinter, with thousands of animals killed in mass feasting events. The scale suggests these weren't merely meals but mass sacrificial events coordinated with astronomical events. Isotope analysis of human remains found around Stonehenge reveals something equally significant. Many of the individuals buried there weren't local. They had travelled from as far away as the Alps, bringing animals for sacrifice. This suggests Stonehenge functioned as a pilgrimage site where distant communities gathered for seasonal killing rituals. The midwinter solstice, the darkest day of the year, appears to have been particularly significant. Multiple lines of evidence suggest this was when the boundary between the world of the living and the dead was believed to be thinnest, requiring blood offerings to maintain cosmic order. To understand Stonehenge's blood rituals in proper context, we need to look at what was happening at other contemporary Neolithic sites across Europe. At Newgrange in Ireland, human remains were interred with elaborate grave goods and evidence of fire rituals. In France, gallery graves show evidence of defleshing ceremonies similar to those at Stonehenge. The period of Stonehenge's construction, roughly 3000 to 2000 BCE, corresponds with a time of significant climate change across Europe. Archaeological evidence shows increasing social complexity, competition for resources, and the rise of more hierarchical societies. In such contexts, human sacrifice often emerges as elites demonstrate their power and connection to supernatural forces. This isn't speculative. Using advanced bioarchaeological techniques, researchers have identified periods of nutritional stress in human remains that correlate with evidence of increased ritual activity at Stonehenge. In times of crisis, blood rituals intensified. What emerges from the archaeological evidence is a picture of Stonehenge, far different from the peaceful astronomical calendar or healing center often portrayed in popular media. The monument was fundamentally a place where the living communicated with the dead through blood, sacrifice, and ritual killing. The carefully aligned stones, the acoustic properties, the astronomical timing, all of these sophisticated elements served to create a powerful ritual technology that maintained cosmic order through carefully orchestrated bloodshed. This doesn't diminish Stonehenge's importance or the achievements of its builders. If anything, it deepens our understanding of how central these ritual practices were to Neolithic society. The monument stands as testimony to how far our ancestors would go to maintain their connection to supernatural forces. As we consider these archaeological revelations, we're reminded that human history isn't a simple story of progress from barbarism to civilization. Our ancestors were complex beings with sophisticated cosmologies that sometimes required practices we find disturbing today. The dark truths of Stonehenge help us understand not just what our ancestors built, but who they were, people willing to make the ultimate sacrifices to maintain their world. If you found this exploration valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe for more investigations into history's hidden truths. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think we've misinterpreted the evidence? This is a reminder that beneath the surface of our most famous monuments often lie the darkest and most revealing truths about our human past.